Wow, what an awesome day. We have just launched from this beautiful beach behind me here, and we're out on a little kite gathering mission. My sister and her children have come up north for the holidays, and I want to give them some fish and maybe a nice tasty crayfish as well. So we are out for the day. I have a new weapon to play with, and I'll show you a little bit more about that later. But for now, we're going to paddle up the coast here a bit and get stuck into it. Super cool paddle up the coast. Hot though, very hot. This new wetsuit I've got is pretty damn warm, so can't wait to get in. This first spot is going to be crayfish spot. We'll have a quick look in here, see if there are any crayfish home, and yeah, fingers crossed there are. Welcome to another video, everyone. This is a spot where I often find crayfish, and the first thing I see is this beautiful little crayfish molt. Crayfish grow by shedding their shells every now and then, and this is what's left behind. Oh, look at that, a beautiful little red cray molt. Amazing. Oh, awesome. And my daughter will be into this. She's into taxidermy, and she will mount this and it'll look really cool. So I'm going to take this back to the kayak and gently stash it in there. Woo. So yeah, I just took it back to the kayak and very gently laid it on the deck. When I got on the kayak later, I stashed it in one of the pockets safely. And then I headed straight back into that spot to check out if there were any crayfish home. And there are some awesome little spots for crayfish to hide out in here. But on this day, it didn't look like there was really much there. There's a couple of little crays tucked up in this crack here, but nothing big enough to take. So I actually spent quite a bit of time looking for crayfish and didn't end up finding any, so ended up grabbing the new gun, getting it loaded, and sort of just starting to get used to it. And yeah, then went snooping for snapper and ended up right up in the shallows. I sort of had a look out in a bit deeper water and hadn't found anything, so moved into the shallows and I came over this ledge, spied the snapper, lined it up and took the shot. And yeah, it all happened really fast, but yeah, just got that beautiful shot into it, and first time pulling the trigger on the new gun, and I absolutely stoned the fish, and I am stoked. Love these shots where the fish just dies instantly. Oh, nice. First fish for the new gun. Absolutely nailed it. You beauty.
And then I'd just turned the camera off from dealing with the first fish, swum over the next ledge and found this guy. Didn't have time to turn the camera on or anything, but got a shot through it, but didn't get the stone shot, and I was actually a little bit worried that it might rip out, so just let it go to the bottom and then went down and grabbed it.
Second fish on the new gun. Unfortunately I wasn't rolling when I shot it, but yeah, gun is working beautifully.
I didn't get the stone shot on this one, so had to get the knife out, give it the icky, keep it in tip-top condition. And yeah, a little while later on, came over this ledge here and found another snapper just chilling out at the base. Lined it up, pulled the trigger, and yeah, I missed that one.
Well, alright, we are back out of the water and we weren't so lucky on the crayfish front. Found that one molt and that was it really. Bunch of other crayfish but all small or little packers crayfish, nothing that I could take home and eat. But yeah, that's alright. I then went snooping, took the new gun for a spin and managed to smack a couple of snapper on the snoop. Right up in the shallows, that's where they were. So yeah, I was pretty happy about that. And that leads me nicely into the new gun. So I've had my last gun for probably 5 years now. It was built by Sam at OXS Enterprises. He did an amazing job. It was an awesome gun, but there were a few things that were kind of a little bit annoying about it. When he'd put the trigger mech in, it was one of the first ones he did and it was slightly too low, which made reloading just a little tricky. You had to get the spear just on the right angle. And the second complaint with it is completely my fault. I got him to put a reel on it, and once I got the reel on it, I kind of felt like it ruined the balance of the gun and never really felt the same. But I persevered with it. You all know it, you've all seen it. I've affectionately termed it my weapon of mass destruction because it's certainly destroyed more than its fair share of fish. But in the end, it was time for a new one, and I just picked up a Wettie Viper Pro. Picked it up in 110. Reckon that's a pretty ideal size for shooting stuff in New Zealand. And I've got it double rubbered with twin 14s. I was going to go with twin 16s. I've had twin 16s on all of my guns, but when I was talking to the guys at Wettie, they advised me that twin 16s was probably a bit of an overkill really, and I'd be fine with twin 14s. And yeah, after shooting those couple of snapper, I actually have to agree. It's certainly also nice loading 14s, a lot easier than 16s. I've also got Wettie's stainless steel shaft with the shark fins. I really like shark fin shafts. I don't like the ones with a cutout in them so much. Just find they're so much easier to use. And yeah, real basic simple gun, but should do the job really nicely. One other thing I've been super impressed about with this Wettie gun is the handle, and there's two main things about that. First one is this guard for the line. It's nice and big and it's not going to slip off there until you pull the trigger. It really holds it nice and tight, which a lot of my other guns have never really held that line that well, and you'll bump it, especially working around rocks and things. This will get caught and it'll rip it off, and then all of a sudden you've got line all through the water and you've got to stop and put it back on. So really like that nice big line clip. And the other feature that I think is absolutely incredible is the safety. So it's got a safety and it's right here. So if I push it like this, the safety's on. Can't pull the trigger. But most sparrows would have gone to shoot a fish, pulled the trigger and found the safety was on. If you look at this design, to go and pull the trigger, your finger has to push the safety in. So you're pretty much, if you're intending to shoot this gun, it's gonna shoot. Really like it, think it's a really cool design, and yeah, big ups to Wettie. I'm gonna put this to great use. So yeah, it's getting on a bit now in the day. I am gonna try one more spot. I think I will set a burley and we will try and shoot a nice big snapper to really christen this gun in
So I hopped in the water and pretty soon I shot this nice big fat silver drummer. So cut a whole lot of chunks off it, got a big burley trail happening in the water, and then dived down, put it on the bottom, picked up a rock and sat it on it. And of course I've done this next to a really nice ledge that I can sneak over. So I went away, snooped around a little bit just to see if I could find any more snapper, and came back maybe 10 minutes later. I didn't give this very long at all, and I'm coming down to have a look at the burley. And I've got this beautiful crack that I can come down. It really kind of shields me pretty well, so I just slowly work my way down, keeping my eyes open. And sure enough, I see one nice snapper has already come in on the burley. So I line it up, take a shot, and miss.
I missed it.
A bit disappointed, I head off and decide I'm going to have a little bit more of a look for crayfish. So start looking at this ground here. It's a new area, I've never dived it before, and sure enough, before long I find this crayfish tucked up under its rock here. So get into it, quick grab, and I've nailed it. Still got a bit of breath left, so just carry on looking. Look under a couple more likely looking rocks, but don't see any more, so head back to the surface.
I think that'll be legal. Yep, legal. Woo. Can go in the bag.
And it's not long before I end up finding another one. This one sees me coming, kind of backs up a bit, so I just take my time, work my hand in nice and close, and get that grab. I'd seen another one down in here on the previous dive and have a look for it, but I can't find it, and in the end I come to the conclusion that I think the one I've just caught is the one I saw on the previous dive, and it had just moved along a little bit. But anyway, rather happy to have it. Let's try number 2.
It's another one. Well over legal as well. Awesome.
And then it was time to check that burley again. Once again, I head back down that great crack. This is such a good spot for a burley because you can really tuck in out of sight really well. So I head in, peer over, and I've got 3 nice snapper. One pretty decent one. So I line up on it, I just wait, and then I squeeze off the shot. And this is one of those times where you just know you're going to get the stone shot when you pull a trigger. The shaft hits the fish, goes straight into its brain, and it is all over.
Yes. Oh, that's way bigger than I thought it was. Oh, it's not very tall, but it's so fat. Whew. Awesome. Alrighty, that was pretty epic. I set that burley for the snapper and then left it for a short while, just went and did a little bit of snooping, didn't see anything, came back, had a shot at that snapper and totally missed it, which I felt a bit silly about, but anyway, carried on, decided I'd go and have a bit more of a look for crays, so went and had a little bit more of a look for crays, scored those 2 crays, happy ass about that, and then came back and checked the burley, and yeah, I've just shot this beauty, absolute beauty snapper on that burley. Absolutely stoked with that. It's like way fatter. I didn't think it was a very big fish, but it's way fatter, like sideways. It's so fat. It's not very tall, but it's just fat, and it's going to be good chewing. When they're this fat, they're good chewing. So that is an excellent way to break in the Wettie Viper Pro 110. That's going to be my primary weapon for the foreseeable future, and have to say I'm pretty stoked. So yeah, I'm going to now paddle for the beach. The sun is not far off going down, so it's been a beautiful day, and I'd like to get back in daylight. Alrighty, what a day indeed. Super stoked with the catch, and I've just laid it all out on the kayak here. So we've got the 2 crayfish, pretty happy about those. We've got the couple of smaller snapper on the snoop, and then the nice big fat one that I got on the burley, all shot with the Wettie Viper Pro. So I'm stoked. I am pretty knackered, so I am going to get out of this suit, chuck the kayak on the trailer, load all my gear up, and then head off to my parents' place, meet up with my sister, and I think we're probably having fish for dinner. Yeah. Alright guys, well, I took that crayfish and that fish to my parents' place. We had an awesome meal with my sister and my nieces, and everything was pretty damn good. And once I got home, I took that little crayfish molt and gave it to Nano, and she has made this beautiful cray mount, and she has got it up for sale. So I'm going to leave a link down in the description to her email, and if you're interested, you can purchase this. Just flick her an email. And aside from that, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I'm going to say thanks for watching. We'll see you in that next one. Cheers.